Hey, welcome back to the Get Out Deck Guy podcast. I'm Steve Rhode, and with me as always is Damon Day. One of us is the new and old Get Out Deck Guy. You figure it out. It's a challenge.
And the other one is known as the guy.
The guy. You are the Get Out Deck Guy.
The guy and the other guy.
All right. So, man, there has just been so much. Every day because I'm constantly monitoring and researching all this stuff, and it's like a monsoon of financial stuff, and it's hard to know where to start. I'll tell you, the most difficult thing is just people knowing where to even begin or how to deal with their money or how to deal with all the news that's coming out. You get brain numb to it.
Yeah, I think you're feeling overwhelmed because, we didn't have a chance to break anything down last week because for a very important reason, we did not have a podcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we missed it.
Yeah, no, I missed it.
Somebody overslept. And somebody else was
3 hours behind the other person.
Yeah. We'll blame that on AI.
I stroll into the podcast at noon versus I actually have to wake up for this thing.
Yep. Yeah, you're eating breakfast, I'm eating lunch.
No, I'm wiping eye crusties. It seems like I had to swing by for a hot dog.
Yeah.
Well, I get a cup of coffee, stumble into the office, be like, all right, Cosmo, go.
Yeah. My big disappointment so far of today was, I swung by for a hot dog at Sheetz, and I actually ordered an Italian sausage, and they sent a manager out to break the news to me that all they had were bratwurst. I was like, oh, all right.
I think that's what's known as a real first world problem.
Yeah. That's the way I felt when they were telling me.
Well, my day's going to suck.
Yeah, that was my big disappointment for the day.
So did you pull any nuggets out of that financial tsunami that you got hit with?
Well, it made me realize two things. One, that, because you and I both have that frame of remembering what it was like to go through this stuff. And it's really hard to open your brain to what you should do when, you're getting hit with more and more news all the time. At least back in 1989, when I was dealing with it, we didn't have 24-hour news, everything bombarding you. And there was a little bit of peace in there. But now, it's bad news all the time about everything. And so it's hard to wrap your brain around, like trying to dig into something and figure out what's true instead of doing what people just normally do, which is react to something, hope for good news, and then leap at that, even though it's the worst thing they could do.
Yeah. No, it happens a lot. I mean, obviously, with the amount of people I talk to every day, I see it, and it's just like, you see your famous quote. It's math wrapped in emotion. That's the definition of debt.
Yep.
And if we could just get rid of the emotion, it would be so much easier. If we could take the emotion out of you, just get you to look at numbers.
Well, we think about all the times we've talked to people over the years who are like desperately digging the hole deep as fast as they can because they're worried about something that doesn't really matter. Like, I'm going to spend down my retirement because I don't want my credit score to drop. Like, these things don't match up, and you're worried about the wrong thing, and you're worried about the emotion, but we need to focus on the math.
So when I was a lot younger and I was, a little wet behind the ears in this stuff, and people would, say, we'd have a conversation and they'd email me back. I'm like, yeah, I really appreciated that conversation. And what you said made a lot of sense, but I'm thinking, I'm going to first try ... I used to go, I'd respond back and be like, no, don't do that. It's going to be bad. And now I've got to the point where when I get the, emails like that, response back, I go, okay, yeah. So just circle back with me whenever. I'll be around. I'll be here.
Yeah.
And inevitably, a year later, 2 years later, hey, I'm not sure if you remember me, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you.
I'm like, yeah, I do. But it's like I've learned that once somebody gets their mind set on something, it's not my job to try to like talk them out of it or convince it. Now I'll make some suggestions. I'll be like, yeah, you could go that way,
Yeah.
but have you considered this? But I don't, maybe I'm just, I'm almost 50 now and I'm just getting like, well, if they want to do it that way, it's their life, it's their money, it's their credit score. They can try it and see how it goes. And I can just be supportive and let them know I'll still be here for them when they, if they need to come back or make a course correction. But I also have to, remember that, I've been immersed in this stuff for over 20 years, 25
Oh,
years
yeah.
now. So, a lot of the stuff that I see, it's kind of like the Matrix, when it's like all those codes and everything. And then when Neo finally can wake up and see, and
Yeah.
he see exactly what it is. It's not just jumbled numbers running through a screen. Well, I've had 25 years to look at those jumbled numbers. So
Yeah. And you see
someone comes to me
through
with a
them.
situation. Yeah, I clearly see what's going on and what needs to happen, but they're coming at it for the first time. It just looks like a whole bunch of numbers, right? So,
Well,
you got to let people.
one of the best phrases that helps people and helps you and I is, so in my days as a search and rescue pilot for the fire department, one of the things that I had to do was I had to take an emergency vehicle driver class because, I would respond lights and sirens in the Tahoe. But in order to take the class, you actually had to drive a fire truck on an obstacle course. Dude,
I remember that Tahoe. It was a fun truck.
it was. Talk about clearing traffic. Oh my God. And it was fun.
I
So
have the power.
I do. Woo, woo. Yeah, just go right up between the lanes. It was great. But anyway, I had to drive a fire truck on an obstacle course. I had never driven a fire truck. Never.
Well, most of us have not, Steve.
No.
It's not uncommon.
So the highlight of the test was I'm driving through the course and I hear this thump, thump, thump. I'm like, what the hell is that? I turned to one of the other guys in the truck. He goes, yeah, you got a cone stuck between the back tires. So
You're supposed to go around those.
Yeah. So anyway, I finished the test and I look at the instructor and she says to me, you passed. You do you, boo.
Yeah.
And so
stick to the planes, fly boy.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I told her I am never driving another fire truck again. Anyway,
there's no cones in the air.
No, we have other things. Damn birds.
Yeah.
But it's like
our cones move.
I've had to avoid more than one giant bird. It's like when you're helping somebody and you realize that you've come up against an immovable object, which is someone else's emotional opinion. The only thing that you can really say is, hey, you do you, boo.
No, or you can just get hung up on like I did a couple months ago.
Yeah. Well, the problem was at that point you applied logic.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I should not have done that.
So I wanted to talk about, not only do I write posts every day on getoutdebt.org and research all this stuff and read through the court cases and, oh my God, all this stuff. But
boring.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to do it. But
Steve is the guy to do the boring stuff.
That's why I'm the Get Out of Debt guy.
But that's why he's the old Get Out of Debt guy. He likes to sit there and read.
I still read. I should start making TikTok videos about debt. But anyway,
hooked on phonics work for me.
On getoutofdebt.org every day I send out a kind of a deep dive weekday email. And then I was thinking about the modern generation, the kind of TikTok generation where maybe it shouldn't be as deep, but something that you can read during a bathroom break. So I actually have a Substack newsletter that's free. And if you go to yourmoneysteve.substack.com, you can follow along. It's like the Cliff Notes of what you need to know today. But
I was going to say the Reader's Digest because you mentioned the fine toilet reader.
That's right. I don't think there is any more toilet reading because it's just your phone.
Half our audience has no idea what a Reader's Digest is.
But
Ask your
anyway,
dad.
in the Substack that came out yesterday, there was the lead story is a good one because, I've been seeing more and more commercials for these apps that say, you earned it, you deserve it today. Like it's a payday advance thing, but they don't sell it on as a payday loan. It's just like a card that you use. And one of those things is Pay Active. Have you ever heard of Pay Active?
No, it's a new one for me.
Anyway, it's another one of those things where you can get your paycheck 3 days early and then pay an exorbitant fee for doing it. But
another one of special programs.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it does sound great. It's one of those, get paid when you want. But Pay Active had a giant data breach. And it's unlike every other data breach that we've heard about recently because they didn't get just like part of a social security number or part of a password, but not your username or something like that. No, they lost everything. So they lost your the identity of their customers' employers, their pay cycles, bank routing and account numbers, everything that a true scammer needs in order to not only impersonate you, but make you an ongoing target for a long time. So if you've ever used PayActive, I would suggest that you go to yourmoneysteve.substack.com and look at the August 5th edition. It's got all the details in there and exactly what happened and what you should do. And it also has a little notice in here about something that this guy that I know, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Damon Day turned down 6 gig offers before taking one. There's a link to Damon's videos. He's now, are you doing them daily now? Is that it?
Man, with, this AI stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a daily video out there on the Penny Stupid channel. Started last week, and it's been fun, actually.
Well, so, AI has been really doing the work for you, and we've talked a lot about AI over the last year about how it's going to change the way people work and jobs and everything else. But one of the things that you and I were chatting about was, it wasn't but just within the last 2 years where you needed to hire a video editor or do all the work yourself to edit a daily video, and you were going to pay for a good one, between $200 and $500 to get a video fully finished from raw footage. And now,
yeah,
Damon, you're doing it for what, $5 a day?
Like $5 or less. I mean, it's, for those of you that don't know, Steve and I started a YouTube channel website called Penny Stupid Project.
Yeah.
Find us on YouTube. Hell, just hit 2,000 subscribers this morning.
Yay!
So that was a nice milestone for us. It's starting to grow. But no, we started this YouTube channel back in 2022, I think?
It's been, 2003, I think?
No. I'm talking about Penny Stupid Project.
Yeah, I thought it was 2023.
Yeah.
Sorry. I lost 20 years there.
Yeah, you did. I was like, no, Steve, I haven't been doing Uber for 20 years. No, I think it was 22 because that's when the year I bought the Tesla and we bought it for I bought a Tesla for the YouTube channel. It's been working out great, actually. I love that car.
There was some emotion wrapped in math wrapped in emotion right there.
Hey, I can wrap emotion around math with the best of them, Steve. I reverse engineer that shit. I'm like, I want a Tesla. I know. Hey, babe, I got this experiment Steve and I are doing on YouTube, and I got to drive for these gig apps, but I don't want to use your Cadillac, so I need to get this Tesla.
Well, but it made total financial sense. It really did.
Yeah. Even buying it in the pandemic when it was way marked up, it still worked. I mean, the car's paid for itself. But anyway, part of what we do on the Penny Stupid channel is we try different side hustles, and I do a lot of gig driving and things like that. Just it started from the idea of how can I help my clients figure out ways to make extra money? Because obviously, when you're trying to get out of debt, cutting expenses is one thing, but sometimes and oftentimes you can't just save your way out of the debt. Sometimes you get to a point where you can't just, Dave Ramsey, I've already got 5 roommates. What else am I supposed to do? Right? You get to that point.
Well, getting out of debt is a combination of one of 3 things, right? Reduce expenses, increase income, or both.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of the idea behind that. And remember, Steve, that first month I went out, I signed up on Lyft. I, tried to figure out all this stuff so I could be a better advisor for my clients because, it's one thing to say, hey, you need to make some more money. Have you tried driving for Lyft or driving Uber? And then,
well,
I don't know anything about that. Yeah. And so one day I was like, well, can you make any extra money doing this stuff? I don't know. I've heard about it. It's kind of like, me recommending bankruptcy before I actually file bankruptcy, right? It's like,
or you recommending acorns.
Yeah. But, back in the day, when, my younger self was very much so like, oh, bankruptcy is the last resort. You shouldn't do that. We got to try to do this.
Yeah, you didn't know better.
Why did I say that? Well, because that's what everybody else said. And I was young and coming up in the industry and, everybody says bankruptcy's bad. Bankruptcy must be bad. I don't know. I don't have any personal experience with it. I filed bankruptcy myself back in 2011. And all of a sudden it's like, that was fairly decent. I actually wiped out a couple $100,000 in debt, got a fresh start. Things took off since then. That was a pretty okay-ish result. It's quite great if you ask me.
That my bankruptcy in 1990 and yours, afterwards, it led to new and better things, happier lives, everything. It just opened opportunity. And yet people are so resistant. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. So, but my whole point of all that was once I went through it, I went, hey, what most people think about this one thing is not actually true. Kind of the same with, gig driving and stuff like that. Right. So I went out there and my first month, see if you remember, I just drove. I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah. It was like $6,500. Now, granted, that's gross. I had to cover gas and things like that.
Well, and you were burning the candle at 9 different ends.
Oh, because, I'm that squirrel personality. I was like, hey, this is new. This is exciting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's go big or go home, bro. That's how we do it over here. So, but yeah, I made over $6,000 that first month, knowing absolutely nothing about any of these gig apps, just signed up and, followed the app and started pointing the car. $6,000. And I went, okay, people can make some money with this stuff to actually get out of debt, use the money to invest, go on a vacation, whatever it is. And it's not just like, oh, if you're broke, you go drive for Uber. It's, professional people too. Like you make good money, but you're still broke and you got to get over that hump and, you've got a little bit of extra time.
Oh, I told you about the corporate executive that he would have to drive into town every day for work, but he would just turn on his Uber app and pick somebody up and get paid to drive to work.
Yeah. And that was kind of the thinking behind it. Like if I can do it, if my clients can see me doing it, they could be like, well, if Damon can do it, maybe it's not beneath me. You know what I mean?
That was a good plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like this guy is crazy, but no. So this week I'm doing a challenge. I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you go to getoutofdebt.org, Steve has actually started picking up some of the YouTube videos and putting them on the recent article section. So you can, if you don't go directly to Penny Stupid Project on YouTube, you can see some of those.
And I write about them too.
Videos. Yeah, he does videos on the getoutofdebt.org. But this week I am doing a challenge. Can I make $500 this week? And before you say, well, yeah, that's not that big a deal. Yes, I can make $500, but I have some parameters. I can't drive more than 20 hours, and I should be able to do it in about 15. And I can't drive more than 300 miles because the point is not to just go out there and see how much money you can make. There's a lot of YouTube channels about that. The point is to say, can you utilize these gig apps in such a way that if you have a job, you have a business, you have a family, you can work these things around your schedule and your availability to make an extra $2,000 a month? And can you do it, and how difficult would it be to do that? And for a lot of people listening to this, $2,000 a month would make a big difference for them, right? So
yeah, well, the first objection that people have is like, I don't want to drive people. I don't want to have people in my car. And I'm not going to spoil anything here but Damon doesn't.
I used to.
Yeah,
I
but
used
when
to
you're
have a lot of
talking about
people in my
making
car.
this money, it's not putting strangers in your car anymore.
Yeah, and I don't mind doing it. I mean, I can't if the money was there, I would do I go where the money is, right?
Mhm.
That's the whole point of the channel is trying to reverse engineer this stuff and figure out, okay, you go on YouTube and you see all these guys bitching about, I am only making $15 an hour on DoorDash and blah, blah, blah. And then I go out there and I'm using multiple apps and I'm averaging $40 an hour. So it's like, what am I doing to average $40 an hour where all these, and I'm not saying I'm special and nobody else can do it,
Yeah, but some
but
guys just sit at the airport.
well, but that's the reason why we started that Penny Stupid channel. So
Right.
when I'm telling my clients something, I can speak from experience. And so anyway, go to Penny Stupid, subscribe, be my subscriber 2001. That would make me very happy. And, I try to make the videos as entertaining as possible. But at the end of the day, I'm not pushing you to go sign up for gig work or anything like
Yeah,
that.
there's no
But
affiliate links or anything. It's just
no, I'm just saying, hey, look, this, even if you think that might be, beneath you, I actually strangely enjoy it. I don't know. I think I enjoy the challenge of it. Like, can I take these things and turn this into money, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. I got an app on my phone and I'm figuring out ways to turn it into money, maximize my return on that.
Well, but
And if
here's
you
why
can
I
make
love
an
that.
extra $500 a week, yeah.
Here's why I love that is because I have never talked about it on the podcast, but I started a 3D printing business. And if you go to getredstuff.com, get red stuff, you'll see, what I'm doing. But as part of that, I started a new newsletter, The Red Thread on Substack, that's all about starting your own business. And what I find fascinating is you get all the people that bitch about gig apps, like they're taking advantage of me. They're not. If you compare getting started with a gig app and being able to earn money today versus starting your own side hustle or business from scratch, there's no comparison. You can start making money today with a side hustle and you can get paid out today and, put money in your pocket daily as opposed
Yeah.
to all the crap that I have to deal with starting a brand new business. It's unbelievable.
Well, and I see that a lot, because I get into those forums, with DoorDash forums and Uber Eats forums and Instacart, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a barrage of
You'll
bitching and
about it.
complaining is all it is. And I I'll say something like, well, you got to do this stuff part-time because a lot of these guys, trying to make a full-time income as a gig worker or whatever. And I get the allure of the, it's flexible and all that kind of stuff. But man, times they are a changing. Like we're talking about AI and we're going to get deeper into that in a second. But, sometimes I'll go into these forums and I'll just try to be like, the voice of reason. I'll say, hey guys, you got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. Gig work is great and you can make some side money, but you got to transition out of gig work, at least out of full-time gig work. Like keep it part-time. Don't rely on it to pay your mortgage or anything like that. Because I'll say robots are going to replace you. We already have automated, taxis out here in Phoenix and, it's only a matter of time before
we got automated video editors.
Yeah, you're going to get squeezed out. And I just get maliciously attacked when I don't toe the line. And it's like, no, we have to get together and we have to petition Congress and we have to get laws and we have to do this. And it's just like, guys, you are going to get replaced. And one of the things that's fascinating, I'm starting a new series too. Even if you have no interest in gig driving, the next series I'm doing on the Penny Stupid channel is going to be all about how to start a business, or can you start? Is it a viable business? I'm getting fascinated with, as you know, Steve, with this Cybercab idea.
Yep.
And for those of you that don't know, this is my buddy Elon, not my real buddy. I don't know him, but I drive his car every day. They came out with a Cybercab, which is an autonomous vehicle, doesn't have a steering wheel, doesn't have pedals.
Yeah.
And essentially it's there to compete with Uber. And so I'm sitting here, driving these gig apps and all these drivers are worried about, these vehicles are going to potentially replace us and da-da-da-da. But Elon is building a network where it's not live yet for investors, but talking about a business opportunity where you can purchase as an individual rather than a fleet owner, a Cybercab.
I think they're going to be 30 grand.
He says they're 30 grand. He also said the Cybertrucks were going to be under 40 grand too. So you never know, right?
He said the cost of goods for the Cybercab was 20. So they sell them for 30. They're making 10. That's good.
Yeah. So I'm having a whole series on, we're going to be running numbers. We're going to be looking at what you could actually make, what the costs are going to be. And we're going to do a whole series on, is this a potential viable business? And think about this. So instead of driving the car for Uber and worrying about the robots, get the robot yourself.
Yeah,
buy the Cybercab. And so, I mean, imagine a scenario like this. You wake up, you get your coffee, you need to go to work, you've got a Cybercab in your garage, right? You get into your car, you got to catch up on some things, you got some meetings. You're not driving to work, you got the car driving you to work. So you're studying up on, I got this meeting, setting my agenda, getting productive. The car pulls up to the front of your office, drops you off, you get out, you push a button on your phone, and instead of the Cybercab parking in the parking lot for 8 hours while you work, it drives to work for you and makes you a side hustle income while you're working. Then you let it know what time you need to be picked up. It'll stop working. It'll come get you, take you home. And then if you want, you can send it back out for an evening shift.
Right.
Make some extra money while you're having dinner and sleeping. The idea behind that is so fascinating to me to actually, and it takes this idea of the car is always a depreciating asset to the car is an investment opportunity now.
Right.
The car can pay for itself and then some.
Well, and in your series, I'm sure you'll talk about, the downsides that people initially see, like you and I talked about back in the day, which was how does it get clean? How does it get charged? And all those things. But here's a real world example. So I have 2 Teslas. Oh, and by the way, so drove the 2 Teslas, all last month. I just saw that the cost of fueling those 2 cars for all of last month was $7.42. That's why I love them. I love them. But so I can go to Sam's Club, park my car in the back.
Hey, Steve, hold on real quick before you do that story. Say that again for those in the back, because you kind of glossed over that. Make sure that point is driven home. The 2 Teslas and
2 Teslas.
What was your fueling expense for the month?
$7.42
for the month for 2 cars.
When I went to Sheetz, the gas station, to go get my my non-Italian sausage, I looked at all the pumps and everybody standing there, and I just felt sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even track mine because mine's like a rounding error on my electric bill. I didn't know. I mean, I'm out here in Arizona, so my electric bill fluctuates in the summertime.
And your solar pays for it.
Yeah, well, I do have solar, but I didn't even but I had the solar before I got the Tesla. So I was just, when I first got the Tesla a couple years ago, and we got this house, and I paid attention, and I couldn't really notice a difference in my bill. I mean, because my bill does fluctuate a little bit every month. But it wasn't like I plugged the car in, and keep in mind, because there's a difference. Steve drives like a normal person, right? I live in Phoenix, and the Tesla, we have 3 vehicles at the house. The Tesla is always the one that gets picked first. Everybody loves the Tesla, right?
Mm-hmm.
We put anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 miles a month. I'm not exaggerating. So my family puts 3,000 to 5,000 miles a month on that Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that is gig work that I go out and do, but not most of it is driving kids around to baseball and softball in school because the valley is big. So we drive a hell of a lot more than the average person would drive their car. And it's still essentially a rounding error on my electric bill. And it's full every morning. And it's just, you see people making fun of this stuff online, but you don't know what you don't know until you have one. And then it's so hard to go back to another, like my diesel truck, almost never, I drive it once a week just because I don't want it sitting there. But I'm always like, oh man, that's like 20 miles away and diesel's like $5.50 a gallon. That's going to cost me $20 to take the truck. The Tesla's 50 cents,
right?
Or whatever.
Yeah, when I go by a gas station, it has the prices out there. I'm like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And I'm getting ready to do another series on the Penny Stupid channel.
Well, hold on, wait. Let me finish my thought, which was,
I'm sorry. I cut you off.
Will it happen? Will the Cybercab happen? And the answer to that is absolutely. Because, like, for example, today, when I go to Sam's Club, I can park my car on the back. And when I come out, I can just use the smart summons and it just brings the car right to me.
Yeah.
Nobody's in it. It just drives to me.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, I live in Phoenix. So if you don't live in like a Phoenix or Houston or one of these major cities that have been testing these autonomous vehicles, we've had what's called Waymos out here for a couple of years now. And when they first came out, it was like this, oh my gosh, what is that? That's so, and now it's like people don't even, take a second look. It's normal. We see them everywhere. And these are vehicles with no driver. Now, these aren't like the Cybercab. The Cybercab I think the Cybercab is going to end up putting Waymo out of business.
Well, you got something else that's close to the Cybercab. You got Amazon's Zook. Have you seen those?
But
there's no steering wheel in them. There's no steering wheel in them. And they were just approved to start charging customers. So they're done with their testing phase.
Oh yeah. I 100%, you can save this podcast for, I'd say 10 years to be safe, but 5 years from now, but even if it's 10, it will be weird to have a driver. I mean, my grandkids may never have a driver's license.
Right. I would agree with that.
Why do I need one of those, Dad? I mean, I'm even thinking about my 19-year-old, using the Cybercab to even do the gig work that does need a person right now, right? You don't have to drive. I do a lot of my deliveries. I used to use the full self-drive on the Tesla because I'm multi-apping, right? I'm looking at Uber, I'm looking at DoorDash, I'm looking at Lyft. I'm evaluating all these things to try to see what the next order I'm going to take is. That's hard to do when you're driving and then the phone's going bling, bling.
Oh yeah,
so I put it on full self-drive.
It's blinging all the time.
Yeah, you put it on full self-drive and that's like, okay, I got 10 minutes till I get to the stop. Now I can look at my phone and see, make these, decisions on what's going to be next. It's like having an employee with you all the time. And then the Cybercab is just going to be the next level over the Tesla full self-driving.
Yeah. And the full self-driving on the Teslas has become so good now with the Model 4 hardware that like when I'm driving someplace now, I actually have a chance to look around and look out the window and I'm amazed all the stuff that's around me that I never knew.
Yeah. And this is not the Tesla fanboy channel or anything like that. But, this actually came up as a topic for today because we were talking about just
AI.
How rapidly things are changing because of AI. And Steve brought this up a little bit earlier. If you look at the Penny Stupid channel and you actually look at the history of the videos, you'll see large swaths of time, where I'll have like a frenzy for a month or two where I'm doing like 1 or 2 videos a week and it's pretty consistent and things are going good because the Penny Stupid channel itself is also a side hustle. I'm testing. And can you build a YouTube channel? And so the driving is actually content for the YouTube channel. And so the driving extra money is fine, but the real goal there is to get that passive money from the driving, right? By turning that into future revenue from YouTube and Facebook and things like that. So the driving is just content for that other side hustle. So there's multiple side hustles going on at the same time.
Yeah, and look at the one I started at the same time, right? You did the driving and I tested starting your own Amazon business.
Yeah.
And today, my Amazon business is going well and it's totally managed by my AI agents.
Oh,
and here's the thing. And I'm not doing a video and I'm not telling anybody about how I achieved this success because I'm not going to be one of those guys that can't do it but sells a course.
Yeah.
No, I'm just doing it.
And I was along for that ride for Steve and it was complicated as hell. You have to have a specific personality. And most people that try to start, don't go see a guru on, TikTok about how it's easy. Remember that guy riding his skateboard and just ditches the coffee. Amazon FBA is not easy. It's hard. 98% of people that try to do that business will lose money and fail and get pissed off. That is not an easy business to do. But I had a front row seat to watch the evolution of Steve doing this because we're talking about AI now, where when he started, this is how fast this freaking AI is moving. We weren't using AI when you started, really.
No.
There was a little bit kind of here and there. There was no Claude, there was no ChatGPT. This was 3 years ago. I mean, we're not talking back in my day, we're talking about 3 years ago. And so I watched that evolution of Steve, how much time, effort, and energy he had to pour into some extremely boring crap. And when he's talking about spreadsheets, yeah, lots of spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And to where now AI runs most of it.
Yeah,
that's
almost
just
all of
3
it.
years later. I mean, it's just AI doing all of this stuff in just the span of 3 years. And we were talking about, so that Penny Stupid project, you see, oh yeah, he's got videos, he's doing really good. I'm trying to get monetized. And then bam, 6 months, not a single video.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll see a cluster again, a month or two, lots of videos, I get motivated again. And then bam, no videos. And that's because editing video is a time consuming, tedious task that I wouldn't have time for, and I'd lose the motivation because there's no money coming in right away. It's a tough side hustle, right?
Yeah.
Anybody wants to start a YouTube channel because they need to get out of debt? No, don't do that. It's going to take you a long time before you ever see money.
Most fail.
And that's what Steve was talking about, like the gig driving. It's money. You can go out, do something, and have money in your bank account tonight, right? If you need money right now. But my whole point is now all of a sudden with the ChatGPT and Claude, it's gotten to the point now where I can go out and drive. I turn on my phone camera, mount it up, and I just talk to the camera when I'm driving and teach people what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I get home, I get onto ChatGPT, and I have prompts already all done, and I basically just tell ChatGPT, hey, utilize the template that we developed for the Penny Stupid project. Here's the raw footage in this folder. Make a great video out of it, and have
thumbnail.
it available for me to preview. Yeah, and a thumbnail, and have it ready for me to approve and preview when I wake up, and then I go to bed.
Yeah,
I wake up and my video's done, and then I'm like, or I might have some corrections. I tell it, do this. I don't like that. Change that. Changes all that, and then I go, great. Make a thumbnail for it so it's engaging. Create a couple of shorts out of that, and then go post it to the YouTube and the Facebook channel.
Yeah,
and
you're getting views and clicks and subscribers.
And it does it all. But like Steve was talking about, if I had to hire somebody just 3 years ago and said, hey, look, I'm going to give you every night an hour or two of raw footage, maybe 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to go through that, come up with a story arc based on that raw footage, figure something out, something interesting based on my personality and what I'm and narrow it down to 20 minutes and make the thumbnail and upload this. I would have had to pay for a halfway decent editor. It would have been $400 or $500 per video.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about, I'm getting one of these videos every single day, and I could do more actually, but 20 videos a month. We're talking $10,000 for that service. If I was just going to pay an editor for that, $10,000. I pay ChatGPT $100 a month. And it handles all of that, plus a whole bunch of other stuff, because every day I get more and more. I'm still fighting that. Like I go to Google and I Google something, but now even Google's got their own Gemini AI built in. So I'm still getting the AI. But now I'm finally coming around to the point where I'm old habits are hard to break, right? Because that's what I've always done. Just go to Google and find the answer. Now I just go to Chat. It's on my phone. And I just ask Chat and I get the exact answer I'm looking for immediately. And that's all included in the $100 a month. That's in addition to the editor I get. And Steve, you use AI even way more than I do. I don't know if you ever thought about this, but if you had to ballpark, how much it would cost you to have assistants and employees to handle all of the tasks right now. Because Steve's got multiple projects going. He had to get a new subscription to AI because he was maxing out his stuff. So he'd be a good. But Steve, when you're talking about the one-person business,
$10,000 a month.
No, you'd be paying more than that. I'd be paying $10,000 a month just for my videos. And you got like 5. If you had to have like everything that these things, even the research, because how much research do they do for you on the sites and all that stuff, and your podcast and everything. So I said I put you on the spot because I know you haven't really thought about it. But if all that stuff was done for you by a human, by a qualified human, mind you, not just some guy that's willing.
Yeah, let me give you an example. So when I finish one article, all the research has been done for me to begin with, and then I put the article together, and then when it's done, I have 5 different AI agents that each go out and independently fact check the article to make sure everything is 100% accurate. So I mean, I couldn't hire 5 fact checkers to go out and do it in, the reason I use 5 is because they can operate simultaneously. And so within 20 minutes, I can have all the fact checking done. And these articles would never get written, for example, let me give you a good example. Somebody, what do you do if you have multiple wage garnishments? Got it. Debt collector calling your family. Got it. I got the I got the full Bible on how to deal with those things. And that's thanks to AI.
Yeah. And we're talking tens of thousands a month a couple of years ago. He wouldn't be able to pay it because the return wouldn't be there to do all this stuff. So you have that aspect of it. And then you look at, he wouldn't be able to be as productive without, even if he was hiring people, Steve and 5 people helping him out would, that he hired would not be able to do, 75% of the stuff he's able to put out now between all the different podcasts and the videos and the articles and the research and the different projects. He just kind of flippantly threw out. I started the Get Red Stuff business a couple months ago. We were talking one day and he told me, and I was like, wait, what? He's like, oh yeah, just this, got an idea. And all of a sudden he's up and running with it, got a website up, just cranking it, making sales. And I was like he went from idea to sale in like a couple of weeks. And
and it now automated. Sells on Walmart and Amazon and my site. And so that would have taken just so much time before. And most people would probably have started a business and then just diverted along the way because it's just so many decisions and things you have to research.
Yeah. But the point is, AI is coming. It's coming. Well, it's not coming. It's here and it's fast. And it's going to rapidly change everything. And, you hear that a lot, right? And I was saying, yeah, okay, whatever. And now that I'm seeing what I'm just what I'm doing with these videos and stuff, it's blowing my mind every day. And that's why that Cybercab idea is so fascinating to me, because people are worried about losing their jobs and things like that. And it's like, yeah, but people have, industries have changed, technology has changed throughout human history, right? And that just happens. So you just got to kind of get out ahead of it and be like, okay, yeah, there's going to be some people that AI is going to take over, but that AI is also creating a lot of opportunity. So you just got to say, okay, where is that opportunity? And that's why the Cybercab business. Okay, instead of me going out and driving for Uber, I can buy a Cybercab potentially for $30,000 and have that car pay for itself in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. I'm gonna run the numbers on that. And then why am I out there wasting my time driving Uber? My AI car can replace that income for me. Why I can then go do something else. And then you can start, well, wait a minute, if one car can do that, what can 3 cars do? Or whatever. So, but these are opportunities that opportunity didn't exist yesterday.
Right.
Still doesn't exist today, but it's going to exist tomorrow.
Exactly.
So AI is changing things, but it's not all doom and gloom. Steve, you want to mention that that podcast we saw with Elon, where we both kind of went like, huh.
Well, he's not the only one that has mentioned it, but people laugh and joke about universal basic income, and it sounds like, so socialist and everything else. But it's going to become a reality, because if we're going to keep being consumers and live in a capitalist society, people need to consume. And if everything is getting cheaper and cheaper, we're entering an age of abundance. The only one lacking thing is, how do people have money in order to do all the things? And the answer is, the government's just going to print it. And so there will be universal basic income for people, and things are getting cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I'm convinced that people need to definitely have a side hustle right now. You can't count on your employer. I don't care what industry you're in.
No.
It's if you're say you're an employer, like you're Steve, right? And you're doing whatever, and all of a sudden you see this opportunity where you can get these AI agents that can replace 50 of your employees and do a better job.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're a nice guy, you're loyal to your employees, but you know what your competitors are going to do also.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen because I've lived it myself. Is you're going to feel bad. Your employer's going to feel bad and not want to do that because they really care about you. And they're going to really care about you until they go out of business because
Yeah.
everybody else embraced it.
Yeah. So either you're going to get let go or they're going to go out of business, in which case you're not going to have a job either.
Right.
So, so you got to be able to be prepared for that. And so the best way to prepare for that, I know we keep harping on it, is get the hell out of debt and start making the dollars that you are making now stretch farther so you can invest them and save them, because we don't know what the future is going to look like. But I can tell you, whatever happens in the future is going to be easier to handle if you have money in the bank. You don't have any debt. You don't owe anybody anything.
And you got a plan
so
based on math.
Work on that right now, because the more money you save now, the better. The easier it's going to be to make that transition. You don't know, you could get let go next month and go, oh my gosh, I'm unemployed. I got a severance for 2 months. And then what am I going to do? Start thinking about that now.
All right, Damon, on that note, let's end this week and we'll make a point to do one next week.
We're going to end on the doom and gloom?
Well, no, we're going to end on some witty repartee that you're going to riff on for 3 minutes. And then we're going to leave people in a good mood. Actually, we talked about all this stuff, and I'm actually in a good mood because if you learn to embrace it, you see the opportunity. And here's the thing. If you're saying to yourself, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to get started, get a Claude or a GPT account and go into the desktop agent and just say, start asking questions. Tell the agent who you are and what skills you have and what you want to do. It's not mysterious to learn how to take advantage of AI. You just have to start using it.
Yeah. And Chat still has a free account, right?
I don't know about that.
They may have gotten rid of it. I think they did up until recently.
$20 or something.
Yeah, $20 a month. Trust me, you'll get $20 a month worth of information out of it. My wife discovered it like 6 months ago. And
it's great for recipes.
Here's a funny story. Yeah, here's a funny story. So my wife just discovered this thing 6 months ago. Because she uses one of my computers, and I had the Chat GPT on there, and she just started using it. Now she uses it for everything. But I was out doing my day 3 of my $500 a week challenge last night, which crushed it, by the way. I'm not going to give away the ending, but I crushed it last night. $80 in 2 hours, but hey, whatever.
But don't give away the ending.
No, well, the ending is after the 5th day.
Don't give away the ending.
Can I make that $500? I haven't done it yet. Today's day number 4. Tomorrow's day number 5. But
so Kathy started with decorating, didn't she?
Oh yeah, the whole house is ChatGPT now. It's all. I feel like I live in a Martha Stewart,
And you did it with your wardrobe.
Oh yeah. In fact, if you watch Penny Stupid, it's kind of funny. I was noticing this. If you watch our channel from like a year ago, I was always wearing the same hat, one of 2 shirts, same sunglasses. And now you start watching my videos every day. I got a different hat on. My glasses match my hat. My Apple Watch band matches my shirt. It's kind of funny, actually. And that was all because I was finally like, you know what? I should look presentable. I should not Adam Sandler myself every time I go out, basketball shorts and stuff. And so, yeah, I had ChatGPT redo my whole wardrobe and everything. But anyway, so I'm out. I get to the Walmart and I get this phone call. My son's car won't start. And we've been having an issue with it. I thought it was the battery last week, and I took it to O'Reilly, tested the battery. Battery's good. And the alternator's good. And so that was fine. And now it won't start again. This is yesterday. So I finished what I was doing. I come home and it's doing some funky stuff. I'm not going to get into all of it, but at first I think it might be the starter now, but then the electrical thing is, and so my wife's in the garage and the car's in the driveway, and I hear her talking. I don't understand what she's saying because I'm in the car, and then I'm looking at it, and then I realize what's happening is I'm telling her what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing here, and what I think the problem is probably, and I'm going over the stuff, is doing this, and she's repeating everything I'm saying into the ChatGPT chat. And then telling me, oh, this is the problem. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I finally realized she's just, putting all this information into ChatGPT to tell me. She goes, oh, it's probably a starter solenoid, or not a solenoid, a starter relay. She goes, Yeah, I think it's a starter relay. And that's when I clicked in my brain. I'm like, what'd you say? Like, my wife is not mechanically inclined. I'm like, what do you mean you think it's a starter relay? And then I see her on her phone. Well, ChatGPT, I told her everything you said was going. I told it everything you said was going on, and it's probably a starter relay.
and it probably is.
Yeah. So it's my wife with her phone and my ChatGPT account telling me what's wrong with my car. Pretty soon, Optimus can just come show up and fix it as soon as we say
your
starter
Cybercab
relay.
won't need that.
Yeah. Oh, that Cybercab is fascinating, man. It is fascinating. Follow the channel just for that because
Penny Stupid Project on YouTube.
There is a better than outside chance yours truly ends up with a Cybercab when they come out. So we'll see.
All right,
that
Damon.
just fascinates me.
On that note, I will see ya.
Peace.